Impact. I watched Impact on Access TV. I'm just going to breeze through this here. Impact, I mean, they're growing in attendance, they're growing in viewership. What can you say? I enjoy watching it. The more wrestling, the better. That's what I say. And they're doing good stuff, man. They're going to Memphis. They're getting good chants. So me and Hairline were laughing at the other. I think it was we reviewed Impact. Maybe this is before Hairline took off. Maybe it was, I can't remember, but he was like, yo, it's funny how Impact is wrestling whoop that trick at Trinity. Like, what the fuck? We were kind of confused by that. I didn't realize, though, they taped, I think, like 2 or 3 or 4 episodes of Impact in Memphis. So obviously that's what they do there. And so I guess Memphis wrestling fans have just adopted that as a fucking chant. You know, I don't know if they chant that at football games or what. Someone dummy me up in the comments. Dummy, yeah. So someone also was complaining not complaining. It was nice constructive criticism, and we appreciate constructive criticism too. Somebody was like, "Oh, you guys are doing the yeah thing too much," and I was like, "Dude, I honestly thought I was laying off it. I haven't listened to the episode back, but it's like with no Hairline here, there's no one to reel me in. You guys are just getting my unfiltered spastic fucking nonsense." So shout out myself and shout out that guy. We're gonna try and do the yas less. Yeah, jokes on you, motherfucker. It's my show. No, just kidding, bro. Please stick around. Just stick around, brother. Stick around for the wrestling. Okay, so before the Impact BTI, I like that Impact's doing this. It's on YouTube, Impact Plus, and Facebook. They had Jessica with Courtney Rush take on Savannah Evans with Jay Vidal. I didn't see this, but I'm sure it was good. These ladies are pretty solid workers every time I've seen. Well, I don't know. Savannah Evans and Jay Vidal are like, I don't know. They're very green, but they're not being like they're not being like pushed in positions they shouldn't be. They play their role really well. So shout out them. And then Jessica and Rush, shout them out to the spooky girls, So we're on the road for Bound for Glory. We kick things off. Killer Kelly with Masha Slamovich takes on Tasha Steelz. Tasha Steelz, they really see something in her. I don't see it yet, but I'm giving it a shot, and she's kind of teaming up with Purrazzo, so it seems like her and Purrazzo are going to take on MK Ultra. Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich are, I don't know, my two favorite girls, I think, on the roster in Impact. So I hope they defend the belts, but MK Ultra, they're the shit. Shout them out. This match was whatever, I wasn't super into it. I don't know, whatever. They got to win me over. I'm super into Purrazzo, but this Steelz girl, she's got to win me over here. But either way, Jay Vidal and Giselle Shaw get into it. Gia Miller interviews Jonathan Gresham. He's like, yeah, fuck you. I did cheat to beat Mike Bailey. So I don't know. He's compromised himself. So we have Tommy Dreamer calls out Crazy Steve. He cuts this promo. This shit was fucking hilarious. He does this promo like, yo, dude, we're friends in the lot. Like, you're blind. So Hairline was telling me, Crazy Steve's blind. And he works based off sound and shadows or like movements and shit. I did not know that. But Tommy Dreamer says it on the show. So shout out Hairline, premoniting. What would be the word? Seeing the future. Let's just say it in layman's terms. So Tommy Dreamer cuts this promo. Yo, Steve is blind, and his dad and my dad went blind. And Steve told me, oh, I've never driven a car. And so I took him out in a parking lot, and we were drunk, and I gave him the keys, and I let him drive my car, and da-da-da. And Steve's crying, and they hug each other. And then Steve stabs him in the back with a fucking fork. He literally stabs Tommy Dreamer in the back with a fucking fork. Now, I don't know if Tommy was wearing some weird random jacket that I don't think I've ever seen him wear before, so he probably had some shit rigged in the back, but it looked good. And Tommy was just like selling it really good. And Crazy Steve he's like, the devil came to your room that night or something. Like I don't know. Crazy Steve's getting over with me. Hairline's like, dude, I love Crazy Steve. And I was like, yeah, he's good in Decay or whatever, but this was good stuff. It actually, we were kind of giving Tommy Dreamer shit, especially Hairline was, like, why would they put the belt on him? But I mean, I don't know if they go viral for Busted Open, and I mean, it's smart. Impact's doing good. I'm not going to question their business moves lately because, again, this was good. This is actually good. Their match, I don't know, but just him stabbing him in the back was hilarious. Up next, we had a 10-person tag match. Jake something, Dirty Dango, Champagne Singh. So up next, we had a 10-person tag team match. Jake something, Dirty Dango, Champagne Singh, Eric Young, and Jordan Grace took on Brian Myers, Shira, Kylan King, Jody Threat, and Bully Ray. So it was a mixed. So, like, how do we even explain this? There's two girls on one team and three dudes, and then the other team has four dudes and one girl. So they're just like, Impact's like, fuck it, you know? Oh, AEW is going to do two girls, two guys, two girls, two guys. Okay, we're just saying fuck it, and we're just doing a mash of stuff. So I'm cool with it. I wasn't against this. It was a little out there, but they're trying something new, and it wasn't like the drizzling shits by any mean. But it did just go too long, and I mean, I tuned out a couple times. Dango's character work with his little guy, he reminds me of like a young Bill Alfonso sort of thing. I don't know if that even makes sense, but Dango comes out and he's just like, yeah, I fucking hate professional wrestling. That shit's hilarious. And then I don't know, Bully obviously does decent work. Shira from the Wrestlers documentary, yeah, he's there. Shout out fucking Shira. And then Kylan King, she's a good worker. She left AEW and made a name for herself, truly. Jordan Grace is good. Eric Young, everything's good. Jake something looks like something. Hairline hates Brian Myers. I like him, but it is what it is. This wasn't the greatest match of all time. And I don't know if they should keep doing things like this, but I don't know. It wasn't the shits either. And they're really like, this is all I'm saying, man. For people who go women's wrestling, WWE and Impact have the best women's wrestling, bar none. You can't argue that. So if you're one of these people like, oh, I wish AEW would book women's wrestling more, go watch Impact then, because they're like doing things like this. This is pretty progressive as far as not even going, okay, there's one girl on this team and one girl on they went, no. We got one girl on this team, two girls on this team. These guys have four guys. These guys have three. I don't know. I'll just throw that out there for the IWC. Anyways, Mean Gia Miller caught up with the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. He's just going to take on Alex Shelley. He's in the main event tonight. Mickie James cuts her Country Girl promo. She's taking on Trinity, babyface versus babyface. Something's got to give there. This is a cool Legends friends. Like, we know they're friends. This is a cool legend friend send-off matchup, but I don't know. I want to see Trinity face like a hot heel, The ABC take on Skylar and Jay Vidal in a fans revenge match. The fans get to like whip. It's like a lumberjack match, but the fans get to beat up the wrestlers with weapons. I don't know if this is smart, but Hairline broke it down to me, I think off podcast, how he's like, no, this is how you like encourage tickets or whatever. I don't know. He broke it down in a very genius way. I wish he was here to say it. He will be, I think, sooner than later. I'm sure he'll bring it up. But yeah, this was like, I was compelled just by watching the fans surrounding the ring and whipping people. Again, this wasn't like the greatest thing ever, but the ABC, man, these guys are great. They're great. They're great in Impact. I think they reigned with the titles. They reigned in New Japan. I think it's time they go AEW, but I think they would just flounder and they wouldn't stand out because there's other teams. They don't push people correctly. I think if they went to NXT, they'd be the top of the top. And who knows, man? I know maybe that's not in the books. Who knows what their contracts are like? But ABC, I think it's time, bro. You guys get out of there. Go to AEW or go to try and go to NXT. That would be my suggestion. Eddie Edwards and Kazarian vowed to end their deeply personal rivalry once and for all. And I don't know, Eddie Edwards' wife, she cuts great promos, man. She's just like very believable as like some like Boston chick, or that's where they're from, right? Boston. I don't know. She reminds me of like Ted's. You guys know that movie Ted with like the teddy bear? It reminds me of like his girlfriend in that movie, Anyway, so Moose versus Bhupinder Gujar. Sorry if I butchered that name. I know Hairline would shit all over this. Moose has the fucking money in the bank, the Impact money, he can go cash in the world title, but he's going to take on Gujar. Moose wins. We knew that was going to happen. This Gujar guy's great. He's great. I don't hate on Moose so much. You know, his work's good. I think his promos are a little, I don't know, get him a mouthpiece. I thought that's what Brian Myers would do, but right now I think they're building towards a Moose Brian Myers feud, or maybe they'll stay together. But after the match, Macklin comes out. He confronts Moose and Brian Myers. He's like, dude, I had that briefcase, but Rhino gored it out of my hands. It went flying. And then Moose, you picked it up. And then he starts going, yo, Bully Ray's gone soft. He'll turn on you at any moment. And then fucking PCO comes out. He fucking starts attacking these guys. Everyone's out of the ring. I don't know. PCO comes out like Undertaker. The lightning strikes, but bow, bow. And then Macklin's retreating up the ramp. Rhino gores him again. Cool. You know, they got some guys. ABC say that they're going to challenge for the Impact titles at Bound for Glory, but they don't know who their opponents will be. Santino Marella says next week the Rascals will defend against Swan and Callahan. I don't really care about that. So Chris Sabin says he's going to walk out as the X Division champion when he faces Kenta. I think he does walk out with the title. Then it's announced MK Ultra will defend against Steels and Perazo. So now in our main event, we get Khan, who was Connor, I think, right? Yeah, in WWE as the part of the Ascension. And he's taken on Josh Alexander, the walking weapon. So basically, this match was whatever. The ref gets taken out. Alex Shelley's on commentary, and he's doing great work, great character work. He's really stepping up as world champ. Guys, I implore you to check out Impact. And now we're going to get Alexander versus Shelley in a perfect, in my fantasy scenario. You have Alexander win this belt back. I'm sorry. He's their best hand in the company. He's their best guy. I think you have him beat Alex Shelley. You have Shelley turn on Sabin, who defends his title against Kenta. You have Shelley and Sabin feud for the X Division, and then they team up again and probably do their last whatever. I don't know if Sabin will get the world title again, but I could see them having Shelley go over and then maybe Sabin losing the belt if they can get Penta for a bit. It seems like either Kenta or Osprey has to win, right? That, like, do they just put both of their guys over both of those guys? I don't know. We'll see, but we'll see. But I'm compelled and I'm pumped for Bound for Glory. But basically, yeah, Alexander hits the C4 spike to win. Alexander comes in and hits the shell shock, or pardon me, Alex Shelley comes in the ring, hits Alexander with the shell shock. Impact goes off the air. Nothing to knock your dick off, but or no, I don't think this is the go home show actually, because Bound for Glory is not for a couple weeks. I think on October 21st. Yeah, so I actually fucked up, and there's more to come. So okay, we're tuning in to Impact next week, guys.